Welcome to ISO Math, and today we're going to start talking about MatLab. So you see our little MatLab key here, you click on that and you will open MatLab. And here will be the window that you see when you open MatLab. In the middle here, this is where you're going to do all your work. That's going to be called the command window. And as you enter commands, let's say 2 or 2 plus 2, enter, equals 4. You'll see over here in the command history window, it just tells you all the commands that you've done. Let's do 3 plus 2, and you'll see this is your history. And up here is any variables that you create in the workspace. It's called the workspace here. So any variables that you create go there. So let's say x equals 7. You'll see here it's got your variable x. It's got 7. So if we did 3 x, well, we can't do that. We got 3 times x. Okay, 3 times x is 21, because it reads this. When I just wrote 3x right here, it reads that as one combined thing, 3x. It don't read that as 3 times x. It reads it as a string, 3x. Okay, so you have to put in 3 times x. Another window here is your current folder, and to clear screen, you do CLC. You see there I typed in CLC and that will clear my screen, but I still have my history over here. You can clear history too if you want to, but we won't do that right now. Okay, now I've got a document that I want to work with, and I know where that document is, so I'll go over to current folder. Okay, so I'll go to current folder, and it's in the desktop MatLab class chapter 2. So there it is. That gas price is CSV, and what that is, if I right click on it, I can open that and show you what it is before we import the data. So if you see here, this is the average annual gasoline retail prices and selected countries. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 countries here. You can see them there, and it's the average gas price for the years 1990 through 2008. And what I want to do is import this data into MatLab, and if you see here, this comes from the U.S. Department of Energy. So let me show you how to import this data. So right click on it, hit import data, okay, and comma is fine. There we go. When it click on this number of text headlines, and you'll see all of our data here that we want to import. I think it's all the way down to 2008. I said blank one there. Oh, that was just the 4. Okay. And now let's hit next and see what happens. Hit finish. Okay, if you look over here, we've got, it created this column headers, so that gives us all of our column headers here. Here's our data that has all of our numbers in it. And here's all of our text data. So the first thing I want to do is click on the data here, and I want to create a new variable just from the years here. So I want to create a variable called years. So click on that, click on the number 1 there, right click on it, and create variable from selection. Okay, and I know that is, I want to call that rename. Call that years. So now if I click on years, we see here that it is a column that contains just my number of years. Okay, now I want to do that for every country. So for this number 2 there, which one is that? Column headers, that's going to be Australia. So for this one, I want to create a variable from selection, unnamed, and name that Australia. Okay. And now let's do that for each one. Australia, Canada. I'll do it for one more on here, then I'm going to edit out and do them all. Create variable from selection. Over here it is, it calls it unnamed. Go rename it. That's going to be Canada. Okay. Okay, I'm back here, and you can see over here in my workspace I've created columns for Australia, Canada, France, Germany, all the countries. And what I want to do now is erase the others that I have, delete those. So that old one, I want to delete that where I was just goofing off. Column headers, data, text data, and the x equals 7. Let's delete that. Okay? And now what I want you to do is, in the same place where you had your gasprices.csv, that file that you will have, I'll give that to you. I want you to click save up here so you can save all these variables. And let's just call it gas prices. Alright, now you see you have this gasprices.mat. That's a MATLAB file that contains variables. So let me show you. Anytime you go to that folder, let me go to edit. Let's clear. Here we can clear the workspace. So we've cleared the workspace. This is just like you've opened this thing up. You've opened MATLAB up and you've not created any variables. Well, when you create variables over here and then you save it as a .mat file, just click on it and you see here I have all my variables. I have all my data, and then I have it broken. Then I have the years, a file that has my years data. Then I have an individual file that has the gas prices for each individual country. So here's Japan. Every time. Okay, and I think that's enough for our first video, and I'm going to close it off on that. And in the next video we will learn how to use MATLAB, use MATLAB to analyze this gas prices data a little bit. Alright, we'll see you next time.